Good afternoon, traders. It is Tuesday, August 25th, 2019, and the U.S. stock market is closed. The Dow took a pause today. You can see here it backed off, and actually pretty good sell-off right there the last 15 minutes. Ended up closing down 173 points. Uh, the markets are being spooked by all this talk about recession. It's a little bit ridiculous, but you got the pretty much left wing media has figured out that if they can force the country into a recession, they can get rid of Donald Trump, and that seems to be the strategy lately. And so you're hearing all this talk about recession, even though there's no sign of recession at all. Um, and we're just going to have to live with that. I honestly tend to be optimistic about that and say no matter how much the media wants to talk about recession, it's not going to happen unless there is an underlying reason for it to happen. And there's nothing in the economy right now which suggests recession. But the fact is, on a day-to-day basis, we get the market's doing pretty crazy stuff. And so, anyway, today we had negative 173 points on the Dow. In spite of that, we had a fairly decent day. We were down about $3,000 in our open trade yesterday, and we had a fair number of positions on. Looks like maybe 12 or so. And this morning, everything opened up in spite of the down open in the Dow, and we ended up closing those positions out with positive $6,000. So we went from -3 yesterday to positive 6 today on our closed out trades, and that's real good. We need a few more days of that just to get out of the red here for this month, but it's a good sign that we had it today. I'll take what we got. We got into 7 new positions, 4 positive, 3 negative, and we're holding positive $1,100 going into tomorrow. So pretty much positive numbers all across the board in terms of equity. So that's real good. I have just a couple stocks I'll show you here. Um, this one I had showed you yesterday. This is Hovnarian Enterprise, HOV, and we had bought this yesterday right out of the gate. It kept going all day, and then we got a little pop up this morning, so we got out of there with $5,700 in HOV. Now, if we had a crystal ball and held on to it a little bit longer, we could have probably got 6,000 or 7,000 out of it, but that's not what the algorithm says to do. We did what it said to do, and we actually did pretty well there. So I'm pretty pleased with that, no question about it. And then as far as our new positions, these weren't really hot, but the gold was pretty good this morning. It gapped up, and then about midday we bought. This is JNUG, which is gold mining bear. We got into Nugget, N-U-G-T, also. Same thing. And we got in here middle of the day, and it went pretty darn high up here, and it did pull back some. But even with the pullback, we're up about $1,800 in JNUG, and then we have another good one in Nugget. So we're doing pretty well. Anyway, fairly decent day. I'm happy. Trader Bob signing off. See you tomorrow on Wednesday.